Hi everyone, I'm Srimati from second year CSE, Shriram Engineering College, Tripur. In this video, I'm going to explain about DHTML. At the end of this video, I have created a form validation using DHTML concept. Before that, I will give a small introduction about DHTML. DHTML stands for Dynamic Hypertext Markup Language. It is not a single language or a technology. It is a combination of an HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the DOM document object model. As we already know, HTML is a hypertext markup language. It is used to make a structure of web page. CSS is a cascading style sheet. JavaScript is a client scripting language. DOM allows the JavaScript to access and manipulate the content and structure of a web page. DHTML is a nothing but it is a combination of all these HTML, CSS, JavaScript and DOM to make the web page more dynamic and interactive. I have included one example for DHTML. In the first web page, you can able to see the word hello world with black color. Below that, I have given a button. While clicking on the button, the pop-up message will display on the web page. After clicking OK, the word hello world changes into a green color. This is how the DHTML works. I have included a program for form validation. Let's move on to our program. First, let me show you the output of my project. This web page contains a form validation system. Here you can see various fields, a username field, email address field, terms and condition field with checkbox, and the submit button. Here I implemented the concept of an DHTML. If I didn't fill any required information, then I directly click on the submit button. It indicates the error message. This is a concept of an DHTML. It makes the page more dynamic and interactive. Now let's move on to our code. Our code consists of as I previously said, DHTML consists of an HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Here I have also implemented the three concepts. Now let's move on to the code. Now we got a clear idea about what is meant by DHTML. On the screen you can able to see my project folder. It contains the new file.html, style.css, validation.css, terms.html and success.html. Let me first explain clearly my new file.html. Already you know what is meant by doc type HTML. Doc type HTML which tells the browser this is an HTML5 document. Inside the head tag, I have defined the title using the title tag form validation. I have used the link and the script tag. In link tag, I have given the style.css and in the script tag, I have given the validation.js. This connects the design and logic to my HTML page. Inside the body tag, I have a div with class container. Did already you know what container will do? This is used to hold the entire form. Then I use an h2 tag to display the heading form validation. Next I created a form tag. This is important part in our code. On submit, return validate form. This indicates when the user click on submit button, the JavaScript function validate form will run. Now inside the form, I have given the username, email address and then terms fields. Now the first field username, I use a label and an input type text with ID. Below that I use a small tag with ID is equal to user error. If the user missed to fill the username, this user error will display at the bottom. Similar to user error, I have given the email address same as the user error. Input type is equal to text, ID is equal to email, small id, inside the small tag I have given the email error. Third part is the terms and condition checkbox. It uses the input type checkbox with the terms. Below it I use a small id equal to terms error to show error if the user does not check it. Then I have a submit button. After the user completely filled their required fields, they can submit their information by clicking on the submit button. Below the form, I added the link to open the terms and condition page on a new tab. So this is our HTML structure. Okay, let's move on to the CSS file. Now I open the CSS file. In the body, I use the flexbox. Flexbox display flex. Justify content center, which makes the content of the body at the center of our web page. Align items equal to center, which aligns our items at the center. And I have mentioned the height, background size, background position, background repeat. In this I have also set a background image for the page. I have saved my background image as back.jpg, so I have given that reference. Then we move on to the dot container. Dot container class is used to style the form box. It has the background color, padding, radius and box shadow. I have given the background container as a blue, and I have mentioned the label, input and input error, etc. The label and input are styled to give a space and clean look to make the web page as more attractive and clean. The button is, and I have also used the button. The button is styled with the green background and the white text. So CSS used to make the form look attractive and user friendly. So this is the code for our CSS, our web page. Now let's move on to the JavaScript code. I have saved my JavaScript code as validation.js. Now I open the JavaScript file. Here I defined a function called validate form. Inside the function, I get all the input fields using a document.element by id, which get the username, get element by id email, get element by id terms. Then I also get the error message elements. I create a variable called valid and I set it to a value as true. First I clear old messages. Then I click. This is the code to clear the old messages. If I click, if the username is empty, it shows a username is required. If the email is empty, then it shows email is required. If the term checkbox is not checked, it shows you must agree to terms. If you fail any one of this, I set a valid to false. If you didn't fill any required field information, I have set the valid value as an false. If the term checkbox is not checked, also it shows you must agree to terms. At the end, if valid is true, if the required fields are completely filled, if the valid is true, I redirect the user to success.html, which means if the user is completely filled their necessary details and they click on their submit buttons, then it moves to the success page. The success page contains some form submitted successfully sentence. Thank you for contacting us. These are used to for make the page more attractive. We can able to see on the below of our web page, new file.web page, we can able to click on the terms and conditions. While click on the terms and condition, we can move to the page terms.html, which contains the user can read the terms and conditions before filling their necessary details. I have given the 4 terms and conditions, and I have also used the break tag, paragraph tag. This is the style tag to style that terms page. And I have also given a back to form. After reading the terms and condition, the user can click on back to form and moves to the new file.html page. Now let's see our output, how it works. I hope you understand this code. This is the output for our code. Now let me show you the output in the browser. First I click the submit button without entering anything. You will see all error message appears on the page. Now I enter the username as Srimati as my name, and user mail ID as, and I click the agree to the terms and condition checkbox. When I click on the submit button, the successful image will be displayed on the next page. For this only I have created the success.html page to make this HTML as more interactive. Now I have also received the form submitted successfully message. So this is how my DHTML form validation project works. When I click on view terms and condition, it can move to the terms and condition page. I have given the 4 terms and condition. We can read the terms and condition, and we click on the back to form, we can move to our page. So in this project I used the HTML for structure and CSS for styling, JavaScript for validation logic. This is a simple example of an DHTML form validation. Thank you. I hope you understand how my project works. After observing our output, we got a good understanding of DHTML. DHTML is not a single language but a combination of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. In this project, HTML creates a structure, CSS designs the page, and the JavaScript adds dynamic behavior like validation and redirection. Thank you.